Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You all right, Arthur?
I am. I'm on the treadmill, so I'm doing okay.
You're on right now?
I normally wait till... Yeah, I'm on it right now. I've been on 30 minutes, a little over 2.5 miles, and I'm cooling down a bit, and then I'm going to go move my laundry over and then do some weight training. Because, look, I'm 55 years old. My credit sucks. My future's not too bright, but at least I'm good looking and in good shape.
There you go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's start on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
October has become firing season for college football coaches. I guess every Monday when we come in here, we're just going to have to check the ticker and see who got their walking papers the day before. James Franklin yesterday. Trent Dilfer's gone. Our friend Alex Mortensen takes over. And the guy at Oregon State. He has no name. He's just known outside Oregon as the guy at Oregon State. He got fired yesterday, too.
And Kurt Cignetti is the toast of college football.
He is. Oh, he's
running
the
college
talk
football.
of the town.
Yeah, everybody. Now it's Kurt Cignetti to Penn State. Got to do everything you can in the whole world to get Cignetti to Penn State. That's what Penn State people.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either.
I don't think it's going to happen. He's got a good thing going. But you know that guy right now, he could probably make $15 million. I think if Penn State, if Kurt Cignetti said, I'm wide open, baby, make your best offer, I bet they'd go as high as $15 million. And they're paying Franklin $50, $49. They paid Knowles $3 million to leave Ohio State. God knows how much they've spent on NIL. So this has been an expensive proposition for them.
Cignetti did not become a head coach until he was 50.
I know. He's 62, 63 now. He's my age. I mean, really.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just
You're
saying
in the prime of your career.
What I'm saying is the guy's got a lot of life left, and he was waiting on his chance. And, I mean, you know, when a guy walks in and says, I win, Google me.
Yeah.
You know.
And then does it.
Yeah, and then does it at Indiana.
With a bunch of players from James Madison.
And everyone says it's a fluke, and it'll never happen again. And then it happens again. And they may be better this year than they were last year.
Well, I think they are. I mean, you go to Oregon and win like that. Meanwhile, the Razorbacks lose 34-31.
Yeah.
34-31. If we had trotted that out on Friday, would you have taken it?
You know, it's interesting. There's been 34-31 games. There's been lots of games like this. But the manner in which it happened was different. And that fourth quarter was different. And I think, you know, if you had told me before Friday and you could have known that they would play the way they played, with the exception of the third quarter, yeah, I'd have taken it.
Well, they were in it the whole way, it felt like. I mean, there were some of the same things, obviously 3 turnovers. But, man, starting with that, I mean, how many things, where do you want to go today? Because we can go anywhere. There's so much that's happening in college football. There weren't that many firings last year.
Not in October.
Well,
not in October.
Overall, it was like last year's not going to be the year. This year's going to be the year.
Yeah.
And we're not even close to being finished.
You know, we don't have enough money to pay our players thing is going to fall on a lot of deaf ears when we look at all the payouts and buyouts and all the people that are getting millions to do nothing. And that's going to be a hard sell.
Well, that was the thing we were thinking last year. You know, like, hey, it's going to be a hiring or firing freeze for a while. But now, I mean, let's...
No, forget that.
By the way, I had the television on Saturday, and I think I had 4 games on in the YouTube quad box, and there is 4 games all with Arkansas ties. I mean, you had Bielema in the Illinois game. You had Brett Lashley in the SMU game. Who else played in the early game? You got Alex Mortensen.
Missouri.
Drake was in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Mortensen's now an interim head coach.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, but you've got all these Arkansas guys just keep popping up on the TV all over the place.
Gives you a reason to watch.
Jalen Catalon's making tackles out there from Missouri.
In his 12th year of college football.
27-year-old Jalen Catalon.
I mean, it's just wild. The state of college football is just, we know that already, but when you watch it play out on Saturday, you're like, man, what is happening here?
You know, it's funny. We spend Sunday through Friday, college football, it's going to hell in a handbasket. And then Saturday, it is so wildly entertaining. We just talk about everything that's occurred for the rest of the week.
I thought it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating. I thought it was fascinating to watch play out. I thought the Arkansas-Tennessee game was great theater. I thought they were going to figure out a way.
You know, a lot of the same things happen through three quarters that we've seen in previous games. But for me, you know, everyone's going to have their own takeaway from the game on Saturday. And I think most people feel better about the state of the world maybe than they did at this time a week ago. But for me, the thing that I take away from them is what happened in the fourth quarter. To me, the difference was when it was 34-17. It's easy to look back and say this would have happened and that would have happened, and sometimes you know and sometimes you don't know. But my gut tells me that 34-17 2 or 3 weeks ago would have become 51-17, 51-17, or 55-17, or pick your number in the 50s. But when they hit that pass to Blake when it was 3rd and 9, it just seemed like the whole sideline lifted back up. They felt like they were going to win. I mean, as we watched it down 34-17, the thought of coming back and winning is a little different than the thought of coming back and making it a game. Making it a game is feasible. Winning, that's a harder deal because you just run out of time. But I thought the way they competed in the fourth quarter, the way they scored, the way they got stops, the way they played like they felt they were going to win the game. Now, the trick is, and this is just the truth, they got to win a game. For us as fans, we're rejuvenated. Coach Petrino had them playing with fire again the way it used to be, and we love it. It's almost like a new beginning. But the team's lost 4 straight. The players have lost 4 straight games. And they need to win a game, or a spiral becomes just a complete and total snowball. So, A&M's that's a hard one to look at and say, man, you got to win this game. But at some point, you got to win. And I hope that comes sooner rather than later, because to me, that's the key to keeping this thing going. You got to have a payoff. You got to win a game.
So what is it? Why aren't they winning games? What is the difference between
3 turnovers.
Almost always.
3 turnovers. That's the difference in the game Saturday. You can point to other stats, but for me, it's the turnovers, pure and simple.
They just stop turning the ball over. So how do they stop turning the ball over?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. I'd be the coach if I did.
Well, who does? I mean, we talk about the turnovers like, it's something that's correctable and you fix it, but like what's leading to 3 turnovers? Are they in these games because they're playing above their head in the game?
No.
Or are they in the game because they're good enough but they just can't hang on to the ball? And that's why they don't win. That's the difference. That's the reason. Or is it because they're not quite good enough up front? Is it maybe just from a talent perspective, they're just not quite good enough? But look, if you just take the game in a vacuum, you went on the road and played the number 12 team, now number 11 team in the country, and you had them on the ropes. You went to the number 4 team, what is now ranked, or was this week before they escaped the trap game against Washington State. Mm-hmm. Nobody came to the game. Nobody really played in the game, and they figured out a way to win at Ole Miss. But they went there and fumbled that game away.
Well, there were a lot of teams this past weekend that found ways to win at the end on days that weren't their best, and that's what good teams do. That's what winning teams do. That's winning. You make enough plays to win the game. And there's such a fine line, but there's also there's winning football and hanging on to it's part of it. Now I'll say this. I mean, you look at the turnovers from Green. I'm not going to call them fluke turnovers. I'm certainly not going to call them that. But they weren't like your traditional fumble. Russell's was what I would call it. That's a ball security deal right there. You're going to hang on to the ball.
That's also tough. I mean, you're getting hit. Whacked on the other side.
I'm not saying he was lackadaisical. I'm not saying that.
You got to give them credit.
Absolutely. But the plays that were made on Green, Obviously, there was a missed block somewhere. But, those were they made terrific plays.
I haven't seen a fumble called like that in a long time, where the ball goes 12 yards down the field in the air, looks like an incomplete pass.
That's a call that's changed over the last 5-10 years. There was a time that, generally speaking, the benefit of the doubt always went to the arm moving forward. To me, that was an obvious incomplete pass. But I think with the replay now, you go back and you go frame by frame, and I know that they obviously didn't see enough to rule it anything but a fumble, which is what at least the last time that, I heard the SEC official, the head of officials speak directly to a group was, let it be, rule it a fumble, and then let replay sort it out, which sounds good, because you don't want to blow the whistle and blow the play dead. Then you can't go back. So call it a fumble, let replay sort it out. But it seems as though the trend has become, particularly on plays like that they're going to rule it a fumble, and we're not going to overrule it. But to me, that was an incomplete pass. I don't care which side of the fence you're on. The football that I've watched all my life, that was an incomplete pass.
Oh, that was tough. That was a timely, tough turnover. The one in the first half wasn't great either, which was weird how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was a strange play.
Yeah.
The way it came out is what I'm saying.
But they're right there. What's the difference? I mean, how do you get over the hump? 877-377-6963. It's a reaction Monday. We're getting started here. It's a 6:13. Bart, good morning.
Morning, guys.
Edward, good morning. Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
He was looking for plane tickets.
Great
Plane
morning.
tickets.
Great morning, I would say.
Great morning, yeah.
Yeah.
Great morning.
I'd
Chiefs
throw that
Chiefs
out there.
looked a little bit like the Chiefs of old last night.
Well, they've
back to being America's team.
Let's go through the checklist. A, they still have the baddest man on the planet at quarterback, and B, they still have a top 5 defense. So I don't understand what the worry was.
Well, they didn't call a
played
penalty
it.
on the Chiefs last night either.
Oh, yeah, they didn't call a single.
So
one.
obviously they've got the
Interesting.
officials back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I
we
mean,
watched different games.
Yeah.
The worry, Edward, is they haven't won enough games. That was the worry going into this one. They had to win the game.
It's been 5 weeks.
I know.
What do you
and
mean
they've
not
got
enough
2 wins.
games?
They've got 2 wins.
They played a tough schedule to start the year.
What was it, 2 wins or 3 wins now?
They're 3-3.
They're 3-3, back to 500. Right? Listen, grit, toughness, determination, America's team.
That's right.
They're back. They're back. Can Arkansas get there? Can they turn the corner and become the surprise story for the rest of the season in college football? What do we think after watching Saturday's outcome? 877-377-6963. Tomorrow will be at Big Creek.
Everywhere I went this weekend, that was brought up. And I'm not exaggerating. I will occasionally embellish for show purposes, but I'm not embellishing when I say that everywhere I went this weekend, someone brought up the trip to Mountain Home and Bart.
Do you have your bag all packed?
No, I don't.
No, I'm talking about Bart with his Flight by Yingling golf bag. He's got Flight by Yingling gear.
Just about.
Did you hit any balls over the weekend?
I did not.
Wow, you're just confident.
No, I wanted to. I just didn't have the opportunity to do so.
You made choices this weekend. You went on a family excursion.
Well, I mean, the choices were made for me. I went along.
You're a grown man, Bart. You've got to.
If I wanted to hit golf balls, I'd have hit golf.
You're filming a
That's just me,
TV
though.
show on Tuesday.
So your
Breaking
professional obligations.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, but let's not come back and say, well, I wanted to, but I had to, and if I got to hit some
family
balls,
obligations.
if I got to play 18 on the weekend, I wouldn't be rusty. We're not going to do that, are we?
No.
No excuses?
Do you need to get over there early this afternoon or earlier, before dark and hit a few balls today?
I'll just warm up tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Man, I can't. I don't have a very good read on you right now.
Do we get to watch your warm-up? Are you quietly confident, or have you just decided that whatever happens, happens?
Man, I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I think we have our answer.
Well, this is the Bart we got today.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't give a damn, Bart.
I know.
I
know.
don't.
I'm concerned.
I am
concerned.
That's not the best Bart for the
I
show.
am concerned.
Who are you going to yell at today? Who's getting Bart's wrath today?
It's tough to say.
There's a lot of candidates.
You're
or?
really moody, Bart.
I don't know.
How'd you feel about Joe Flacco?
I mean, it was fine.
Looked to me like the Bengals were treading water, just like you asked for.
It was fine.
Tread water for a while.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Better in the second
Okay, it
half.
was
I mean, he had like 3 days to prepare.
Hey, this is a new
learn
show
the
today.
playbook,
It's Chuck and Bo and Opinionless Bart. I had no idea it existed.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, I'm digging. I'm looking for one. I'm looking for anyone.
Arkansas's defense is still awful, guys. That's why they're not.
They were much better.
That's why. No, they're awful. They're not good. They're not good, man. That coaching change doesn't change that. That's
you didn't
why
think they were better. You didn't think they
Tennessee did whatever they
got
wanted.
Better pressure on the quarterback. They got
Tennessee did
attacked a
whatever
little bit
they
better.
wanted.
They ran to the ball better. You didn't think any of that happened?
Tennessee did whatever they wanted.
I don't know how that's true.
Well, why didn't they score 50?
They had 25 minutes of possession versus Arkansas's 34. They had, I think, less first downs. I know they had less first downs. They had less third down conversions.
It didn't take them as long to score.
They did have some quick drives. I'll give you that.
Bart,
They were 2 for 9 on third down.
They scored
Two for 9.
twice off turnovers, right? I mean, Arkansas got more stops in that game, if you go back, than I can remember them getting.
That's fine. Like, I'm just saying what I watched and what I saw is a defense that's not particularly good. And,
Well, nobody's arguing with that.
They're not going like
Did they get
that's
better?
why they're going to lose more games this year. It's not, because they still turn the ball over, and they still can't really stop teams. That's a recipe for a lot of losses.
There it is. We got it out of them. That was the take. And I think everybody that watches would agree that they've got to overcome. The offense has to overcome the defense. My question was, did they get better? And I think we talked about last week, if they got a little bit better, then that gave them a chance.
It depends on your definition of better. Like, they're still turning the ball over. Like, they're still just giving the ball away. Like, that's cost them a ton of games over the past 5 years. It's still cost them. The defense is still like a sieve at times.
I asked for it. I did.
You did.
I did.
You said, Bart, what's wrong?
Got to take a break, and then we got them back. Now we can go on having the Chuck and Bo show. Good morning, Monday morning.
Yeah, what's your point?
You want my point?
Yes, I asked for it. Make
Here's
it.
my point.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want real action, and the wait is over. Live racing is back. Every weekend brings big moments, big crowds, and your chance to feel the thrill of a big win. The holiday racing season begins Friday, December 12th, and runs through January 4th. Then the excitement returns with the classic racing season, January 30th through May 2nd. It's racing, it's winning, it's everything you've been waiting for. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
I love a day or weekend at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark, and members enjoy it all. State-of-the-art practice facilities, food, beverages, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, tennis and pickleball courts, and they can even book you an exclusive fly fishing trip. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. It's Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. It's home away from home. The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
JD's in Fayetteville. JD, good morning.
Bo, are you an idiot or what?
Oh, absolutely.
I tell you, I just wanted to give you a soundbite, to be honest. I don't think you're an idiot. I love your show.
That's a good one.
That's a good drop.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, I mean, their toughness, really. I thought they stuck together and showed toughness and showed some grit. Because when things aren't going good, you know, there's been times when you can turn the other way and give in a little bit. But they showed tremendous grit, tremendous toughness, and pride in each other. And the enthusiasm that we had out on the field helped everybody.
Look, I'm looking at the rest of the season, okay? I'm looking at this season for what it is right now. And I was encouraged. I think they've got a chance to win a couple games, maybe 3. Who knows?
If they play in each game the way they played Saturday, they're going to win some games before it's done. That's the challenge. Is can you continue to do that?
Can you get on a roll of any sort?
Well, you've got 3 games at home. You've got 3 games at home. And, you know, if you're going to be a good program, if you're going to be a good team, you got to win games at home. You know, one of the things that made Indiana's win so impressive at Oregon was they had not lost a home game in like 3 years. So
Indiana's never won a road game against the top 5 team in the history of the school.
But my point is that if you're going to be a top shelf team, you've got to win your home games. You know, I won't say you got to win them all, but you've got to win the vast majority.
It feels like Arkansas has played better on the road.
Well, sometimes maybe that's been true. Sometimes that has something to do with who you're playing. That, you know, teams don't become less talented when they travel. And I just think that, again, they need to win some games. They need to win a game. They need to stop this skid. You know, when you talk about continuing to play with the effort that they played with Saturday, if you do that, you're going to win, but you know you got to keep doing it too, and you don't want to let go of the rope. And that's why I say the fourth quarter was the most encouraging thing to me about the game, because there were lots of reasons for them to stop playing then.
Tennessee had a lot of penalties that helped, but they lost 34-31. Arkansas's turnovers, if you want to point to one thing, the difference. James Franklin's out at Penn State. If we hit a couple of headlines here, that's going to be the first one. After 12 seasons, the school announced Sunday Franklin's owed more than $49 million according to his contract. And now I looked, and everybody's reporting this all weekend. I can't find whether Penn State gets off the hook if James Franklin gets another job. Most contracts indicate that. So that could be a lot less than it ends up.
Offsets part of the buyout.
Mitigated by
a lot of
yes. If you know he were to go sign like a $10 million a year 5-year deal at Florida, Penn State's going to be pretty much off the hook in terms of owing him all that money. I think. I don't know, because I didn't FOI the contract and dig into it. But I did come in here thinking maybe Bart should do that today. Just so we can know, because I'm slightly annoyed that I can't find the answer to this. And I don't know if anybody else cares, but I was curious, because people throw that number out there as if you've got to pay someone that amount of money, and that's not always the case.
I think those are headline grabbing numbers. Oh. It's one of the, you know, if you fire him, the guy walks away, he tries to find a job and nobody will hire him, and he can't get a job at Burger King, and everything else in his life falls apart, then we'll pay him the money. You know, but there's always things that are triggered in those contracts that bring the amount down.
Do you think James Franklin could get a job at Burger King?
I don't know. He might be overqualified. They might not hire him.
He might be overdressed.
Yeah, well, because they know that, as soon as a better job comes along.
Where is James Franklin going to be next year?
I don't know. That's a good question.
James Franklin going to be at Arkansas?
Here's the thing about a guy
like worse. You could do a lot worse.
Okay, Bart, what do you think of James Franklin at Arkansas? What's that look like?
Well, I mean, he's a guy who's been tremendously successful. He was in the college football playoff national semifinal last year.
Right.
Lost by 3 points. He was 3 points away from playing for a national championship last year.
Almost win the national championship. Penn State.
That's pretty good. Has had a lot of 10-plus win seasons there in Happy Valley, which is not really an easy place to win. I think that job gets glamorized because of its past, but they've really only had two successful coaches in program history, and that's Joe Paterno and James Franklin. Nobody else has done anything of any significance at Penn State.
Franklin's also the first coach in the last 30 years to lose consecutive games as at least a 20-point favorite.
Sometimes things go wrong, man. Sometimes bad stuff happens.
It's interesting in college football.
Look, the man won at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
He won at
Well,
Vanderbilt.
he didn't win. He
had a 9-win season.
He had 2 9-win seasons at Vanderbilt.
But it was one of those situations where he got out at the right time. I'll put it that way.
It's so interesting because you can create whatever argument you want in college football.
See, here's the thing.
And depending on where you're starting and how you want to come at it, you can make a case or make a case against almost any coach.
Fit is really important.
Huge.
I think the older I get, I don't know that you can overstate the importance of fit. James Franklin, for better or worse, has a reputation of being very, very difficult to work with. That comes back and bites you in the butt. It just does. You cannot sustain a 30 or 40-year career being difficult every single day. You cannot. He still has that reputation. I don't know how many people are going to be rushing to hire him. Because, look, if you're actually winning the national championship, you put up with a lot. If you're not, you don't.
The coaches I know that have worked for him like working for him.
I'm not talking
I think
about
it's
them.
the other stuff, the administration, the way that he demands at a really high level that doesn't necessarily come off the right way.
It's the manner in which he does it,
Yeah.
from what I've been told.
Yeah.
And I just think things like that matter in terms of your overall success because you're going to face adversity. You're going to face adversity, and is everybody on the same page when that stuff hits? Because if everyone's not on the same page, you can be in trouble in a hurry. I just think, yes, I think James Franklin's a really good coach. I admire what he did at Vanderbilt because he did it, at a time when everyone thought it was just completely impossible. So you have to give him credit for that. But I don't sense that there are going to be a lot of places rushing to hire him. I may be wrong. But there aren't going to be schools the caliber of Penn State, I think, in terms of their football tradition that are going to pursue him.
Today is National Kick Butt Day. How are we feeling? Okay, good. 6:31. We'll get to your calls coming up. Take it and run with it. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. First Security Bank with better banking all over Arkansas. You do that with friendly local banking. That's how you bank better. FSbank.com online. First Security Bank, member FDIC. 6:31, Reaction Monday. See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge. Today's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
by the way, good morning. We just kind of jumped in, and we're coffee deep. And hey, everybody,
Morning, Bart.
welcome in.
Edward.
I smell the bacon cooking. It's going to be a good day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. That's where we find Bart every day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes he's constantly in it. Sometimes he's in it he's always in it, but we just don't ever know how long we're going to be in there. Chevrolet of Fayetteville, save over $13,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Silverado 1500 at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive. You're going to get great service at Chevy of Fayetteville. They got over 200 new vehicles on the line right now. Trucks, SUVs. If it's a Chevy, it's there. And they got great people over there to help you inside the Fayetteville Auto Park at 638 on a Monday, a Reaction Monday. How are we feeling coming out of the weekend? Bart, how are you after your trip to the lake with the family?
I'm tired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
You seem to have so much life.
Rested up.
Didn't get a lot of sleep.
No, why not?
Well, my nieces and nephew are a little rowdy in the mornings. Rowdier in the mornings on the weekends than I choose to be.
Did they wake up Uncle Bart before he wanted to get up?
Like Christmas morning?
They were staying in a room right above mine, and
they ran around. Well, they were excited.
Yeah, they
were you not like telling everybody all weekend Uncle Bart's got to be ready to go? Like big show Monday, big show Tuesday,
it's not about
Big
me.
Creek.
It's not about me.
Oh. Well, so it's different when you're not here.
See, for guys like me and Bo, when you say things like it's not about me, it's like, what?
I'm confused.
Like, what?
So we got the many lives of Bart, many lives of Lane Kiffin, E60. We get the many lives of Bart. Maybe Ryan McGee could do that.
I just hope tomorrow morning, and I'm sure you'll be this way because you're a gamer. I mean, I know you are. But tomorrow morning, you're going to have to bring it. I mean, you really are. We're going to be in public.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Public. Not Publix. Public.
Publix would sounds pretty
We're
good.
going to be out in public tomorrow.
You and Jameis doing a show at Publix.
Yeah, that's fine.
That'd be a great show.
It would be awesome. I would love that.
From the deli.
Now take that same attitude to Big Creek with you.
I'm going to be fine.
Just
tomorrow
imagine
morning.
Jameis is
You're going to
there.
eat a great steak tonight.
I'm going to be fine.
Plainview Beef is going to have steaks tonight at the Country Club.
I'm going to go to bed early, get a good night's sleep, be ready to go.
How early do you need to be in bed tonight?
I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. You're probably going to have a little bourbon, a little steak,
Well, you'll eat
maybe
a good meal,
cigar.
have a cocktail.
Yes. And
sleep like a baby.
And then we're gonna go stay in a beautiful river house, and we're gonna put Chuck out in the garage mahal, the actual garage mahal. Look at it; it is very nice. And then tomorrow we're gonna show up, and we need you at your best. And I don't care about the golf. I'm talking about for the show. I'm talking about for the people. There are going to be thousands of people there to watch the show. Yes, waiting list.
There's going to be a gallery.
They're bringing school buses in. School buses and kids.
Let me tell you, you're going to be surprised.
Cotter and Yellville and Mountain Home.
This is why
maybe
the
even
smart
Harrison.
money is on 90 or over, because there's going to be people there. It's going to be a different environment. I'm telling you, the late money's coming in on over 90. I mean, I'm not trying to get in your head, but I'm just saying that's where the late money's coming in.
I hope those people like losing money.
You know what they were asking me when I was there over the weekend, and they were asking me, "Hey, how difficult should we make this on Bart?"
What, they got Sunday pins?
What, they got to trick it up?
Well, no, they can make it just like any course. They can make it a little bit harder. They can make it a little less difficult. What do you think I told them?
Make it as hard as you can.
No, I didn't do that.
Yes, you
I did not.
Yes,
We're putting on a show, Bart. We
I
want
did
you to
not
at least
do
make
that.
it close.
I don't.
We want drama at the end. So
what is it? Am I walking into like a Greenskeeper's revenge situation here?
No. I said medium.
Like you do for anybody that comes in to play the course.
Make a couple of holes hard.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a par 3 tucked right behind a tree? Yes. But that's just one hole. What? Yes. The pin will be behind the tree. Yes. You got to play the middle of the green. Make a putt. Just
draw
don't try
it in.
to.
Just draw it in.
Just don't try to. Yeah, don't try to do that. Big Creek, going to be a big day tomorrow.
They actually planted some trees on the greens as obstacles.
Well, no, they actually brought them in.
No.
They were so big, they just brought them in. They didn't have time to grow.
Listen, if it makes you feel any better, they had a 4-ball out there this weekend, a Ryder Cup event, and there were guys that were 10 under, in their group. Like, you're playing best ball, but it's your own ball. And to go 10 under, I mean, so it's gettable. It's gettable.
Okay.
I would just say,
it's gettable. Famous last words in golf.
Brent and Cersei, you're on the Chuck and Bo
said
show.
That and gone out and had a good round.
You're the one that said you could break 100 at Oakmont.
Yeah. Well,
Brent,
Hello.
good morning. Hey, Brent.
I'm back from Knoxville.
How was the trip?
Oh, yeah, you went. That's right.
It was long, but it was worth it.
Well, tell us about it.
Man,
And not all the pilot gas stations you were at. Just tell us about the experience.
it was a first class experience. I cannot lie.
Okay.
I will go back to Neyland Stadium when I was with some great friends, set with some great Razorbacks, and I just tell you, I am so encouraged with this team after Saturday. We fought the whole day long. We kept it coming. You never saw us quit. We ran on defense. We ran to the ball. We made some big defensive stops when we needed to. Made some big offensive plays when we needed to. And that is why I am encouraged with this team. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, it's Kick Butt Monday. Let's get it started and say we're going to kick that Aggie butt Saturday afternoon at 2:30. Let's go.
All right. We need to see a good effort at home. We need to see.
Yes, we.
Yeah. Razorback fans could use a big win at home.
When's the last? I guess Tennessee was the last big win we had at home. Yes.
Yeah, I guess when I say big win, I mean any win.
Oh yeah,
But a big win would be exciting.
But wasn't Tennessee the last big win we had at home last year?
I think that's right, Brent. Yeah.
But I am so encouraged by this team, by the effort they gave. They left it all out there on the field Saturday, and as a fan, that's all you wanted to see, and we saw that.
Yeah, if they don't leave a couple of loose balls out there, they might be on the other side again. I mean, that was wild just for it to happen like this. I mean, they're working on ball security. Part of this you got to give credit to the other team flying around, making plays, and then part of that's on you, missing blocks. Being in a position where they can tee off on you. Chuck, you got to be tired of calling fumbles.
Well, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of them, and that to me, again, that was the difference in the outcome. It's not to say that, there weren't some other plays that had effects on the game, but turnovers are huge, and they scored 7 points. To give Arkansas credit, they didn't give up a lot of points. I mean, they gave up 7 off 3 turnovers, but in a 3-point ball game, those are really important points. But Brent said something there that resonated with me. Fans want effort. Fans want to see you stay in the fight, and that's why what happened in the fourth quarter was important. It's why getting stops. It's like there were some points in the Notre Dame game where it just looked like they quit halfway through the play, and I think fans watched a team Saturday that they like. They want to win a game though, and maybe that'll come over these next 3. Got
to hit a break. If you want to get in here on a Monday reaction, a money reaction, we'll find out how Bart did in his locks, too. 877-377-6963. You want to jump in here. If you're watching a game like Monday Night Football tonight, over the weekend, you had NFL, you had NFL Sunday Ticket. You can watch any game. Watch it at Walk-Ons. Over 60
two Monday Night Football games.
Two
tonight.
Monday night games.
Wow. So both are going to be on.
They'll both be on. And whatever else is happening. Do we have any college games tonight?
Tomorrow night, though, we do. Tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, we don't have to go any more nights without football until when? Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
We got the Hogs exhibition to get into. The SEC preseason poll is out. What is going on with that? We'll get into it next. Chuck and Bo Show, good morning.
I know this is an audio medium, and I shouldn't just shake my head, but words fail me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Alyssa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com. Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like walk-ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea, and when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
you got to match Chuck Barrett's intensity. I mean, when the guy's in the booth, he's a different kind of cat.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hogs are 12th in the ESPN preseason top 25 college basketball rankings.
Who are the 11 that are better?
I don't know. We'll get into it coming up. But Ken Pom doesn't even have them in his top 25. And Bart can explain why. That it's a worthless top 25 preseason.
It does not
nothing.
It does not matter at all.
Jim is in Greenwood. Hey, Jim. Good morning. Jim in Greenwood. Hey, Jim.
I can hear you, Jim.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'm at the foothills of Mount Magazine, so I'm on the south side. So it might.
Oh,
it's shaky, but go ahead.
Well, I'm on the south side of Mount Magazine. That's why.
That's what I heard.
Heard
Yeah,
that twice.
yeah.
Yep.
What have you got?
Well, he kept talking about how bad the defense was, but when you fumble the ball 3 times and put them in a bad situation, it's all about. It's hard for the defense to overcome stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job in that area, given that 3 turnovers and Tennessee had 7 points off those turnovers. It certainly could have been worse. The only good thing about Russell's fumble is it was deep in their own territory.
Agreed, but when you look back on the whole scheme of the defense, effort was a lot better this time than it's been all year long. And you could see that. So I disagree with him talking about the defense was letting them do whatever they wanted to do.
So you were pleased with what you saw, besides the loss?
I saw more effort.
Yeah.
I saw more effort. And let's talk about some defenses. I know I love offense. I love scoring points. But you know what? Arkansas has always been pretty dang good when they've had good defense.
Yeah, I don't know how good defenses are right now.
Well, I think good defenses are situational defenses. They're not defenses that shut you down. They're defenses that get off the field on 3rd down and force turnovers. And that's what makes a great defense today.
Benton scored 87 points in a high school football game on Friday night. Rogers played a good Bentonville West team and scored 70.
Well, it shows you why there's not a lot of great defensive players coming out of Arkansas.
Well, I mean,
now.
I think it's the way the game's being played too now. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. A lot of points being given up.
There's no doubt. I just that's a lot of points in a football game, man.
VarsityVibeArkansas.com. VarsityVibeArkansas.com. All your high school stuff.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time Hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chevy of Fayetteville has over 200 new vehicles on the lot right now. So if you're in the market, now's the time to make a move. That includes the brand new Chevy Traverse, the Chevy Trax, and all the favorites like the Tahoes and Suburbans. And for truck lovers, there are Silverados in stock and ready for immediate delivery. So go see Chris, Mark, Denver, and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
Man, there's nothing like a perfect steak. So tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. And now, thanks to Plainview Beef, it's clean with no hidden chemicals. Plainview Beef feeds their cattle with wheatgrass sprouts, and their beef is loaded with nutrients your body needs. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. PlainviewBeef.com. Order direct to your house. Check out their menu, which includes 6 8-ounce fillets for just $99. Again, it's PlainviewBeef.com. Use the promo code Chuck and Bo and get a free 12-pack of beef sticks. PlainviewBeef.com.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eye. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Why we love a coaching search. It's because the outside world talks about us like we're a sleeping giant. It's the one time that people talk about how great we could be. We go from not winning, because anytime you have a coaching search, it's because you've not won. And then all of a sudden, just for a brief period, everybody's saying, that's a sleeping giant. They got all that money. And just think about all the things they could be. And then 5 years later, we do it again. And that's just kind of how it's been.
The Chuck and Bo Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Josh Heupel begins to walk to midfield. Bobby Petrino will come across the way to meet him. Boy, the Razorbacks fought tonight, fell behind, battled back, and ultimately it is Tennessee that comes away with a 34-31 victory over the Razorbacks.
34-31. Hogs 2-4. They've lost 4 straight, 0-2. Lost 3 fumbles. Taylor Green sacked 5 times. Mike Washington had 131 yards rushing and a touchdown. Tennessee had a bunch of penalties. Green threw for 256 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And they had a chance there at the end.
Couple of things. They set the tone physically on their first possession. 70 of the 75 yards on the opening drive were on the ground. They let Tennessee know right off the bat that they were there to play. They came back in the fourth quarter when they were down 34-17. I'm not sure if that would have happened before. But the biggest thing I think that we saw Saturday was heart. You know, we sometimes call it effort. We pick all kinds of names for it, but heart. You know, fans want to see those players play in a way that lets them know that those players care as much as they do. Now, in reality, they care a lot more. But as fans, when you're watching the game and you see a kid that you don't believe is giving full effort, it makes you mad because they don't care as much as you do. But we saw their heart Saturday. We saw the way that they played when they were down and when they were almost out. And I think that resonated with fans.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry watched the game. He's a featured columnist at WholeHogSports.com. He's a friend of the Chuck and Bo Show, and he's here now. Clay, what were your thoughts over the weekend?
Yeah, listening to you boys, y'all got it nailed down pretty good. I think what we need to do is look forward. Let's think about what this team is going to be. And I agree that we had better effort, and that effort is the essence of coaching. That's where you want to start. You don't have effort, then nothing else really matters. All the X's and O's are just silly stuff. I did like some of the X's and O's. I thought there was more press coverage, and that's telling your corners you believe in them. You know, we're not going to be off of them and just chase them. And they've been chasing first few weeks, and they lined up toe to toe and did a little better job in coverage. But what I want to talk about is what it's going to be like going forward. And we've seen games, even during the Pittman time and during the Bielema time, where we've had effort. And then the next week, they might even win a game. But the next week, it's not. And it's a roller coaster, up and down. Can Coach Petrino take them on a ride where it doesn't have to go straight up? I'm talking about, like a line of, if you did a graph and had effort in it, it doesn't have to just go straight up. And it might have slight dips, and you're going to have that. It can't be way down and then way up, way down. It can't be if you mapped it on a graph, it can't be like a roller coaster up and down. And we've had that a lot. And we'll see if, I think Coach is a pretty even-keeled guy. And, he's going to get mad at you every week. He's even-keeled in that way. And let's see if he can maintain their effort and they get the same kind, because, it can't be like, last year they played really well against Tennessee, beat them, and then, then they slipped. Then they lost some home games that, I don't think the effort was very good against Ole Miss. And that can't happen. That's the sign of good coaching, is when you maintain something with some consistency. And I suspect that's what we're going to have, but I don't know it for sure until I see it.
Chuck, you talk about this to me all the time, just Petrino behind the scenes and the consistency of what you're getting all the time.
There is a consistency there. I also think there's a steadiness to him. I'm talking about him. I'm not talking about what he demands out of his football team. I'm talking about Bobby Petrino. I think there's a steadiness to the man and to the coach that maybe was not there 15 years ago. How that affects things going forward, I don't know. But I think when you talk about consistency now, I think you see it all the way across the board, from the top to the bottom.
Clay, you've talked quite a bit about Patrino, like we all have over the last couple of weeks. I wasn't surprised at all that Arkansas came out and played the way they did. If anything, I was surprised at the fumbles. What do you make of the fumbles? And what about just because we talk about it all the time. They're coaching it, and sometimes the other team just makes a play, but. Man, this is like unprecedented territory when you go back and look over the last 3, 4, 5 years, the amount of fumbles.
Yeah, and fumbles come a lot of different ways, and they've had they had wide receiver fumbles, they've had running back fumbles, and they've had quarterback fumbles. Not as much quarterback fumbles this year. Taylor Green was a turnover looking for a place to happen last year, and it was a lot of a lot of interceptions, a lot of the ball's getting swiped from behind, whatever. But the first thing they've got to do is get more consistent in their pass protection and picking people up, not turning blitzers loose. And part of that's on him in recognition before the snap and getting them in the right protections. And the center, Kittler's got to do that too. He can't be chased out of the pocket and running for his life, because that's what happened on those two turnovers. He's trying to get rid of the ball while he's running, while he's being chased. Conversely, Tennessee's quarterback, no sacks, none, 0. Arkansas gave up 4 sacks. That's as much defensive line play. In other words, you've got one team that's able to put pressure on your quarterback, whether it's because they're better talented and they've got more speed, or your offensive line is not doing a good job scheming X's and O's. But the glaring part of what's going on in these games is Arkansas's defensive line isn't doing the same thing. Petrino, I'll never forget sitting down the very first interview. It must have been late February, his first year, and I got to sit down to kind of do a preview for Hogs Illustrated for the spring. And he said, football is a really simple game. It's about who can hit the other team's quarterback and who can protect their quarterback. That team, if it does that, if you hit the other team quarterback, even if it's not a sack, like they did hit Tennessee quarterback one time. I can't remember. Somebody came in from the side, knocked him down. That's a big play, especially if it's not a penalty. If you can hit them, pretty soon they're going to give the ball up in a way that you're surprised at how it happened, because he doesn't want to get hit. Arkansas hasn't done that to the other team's quarterback at all this year. Maybe Alabama A&M. That's an outlier. That's not a legitimate program. But they've got to do. That's what's happening with the turnovers. Is that you cannot let your quarterback be running for his life.
Clay Henry with us, Hall of Famer. This perspective on Petrino goes way back to when he was here the first time. You've seen all this play out, Clay. What are you expecting the rest of the way? A&M comes in with probably a better defensive line than Tennessee had. And by the way, I'm kind of all over the place when I come back to this, so forgive me. But it seemed like to me Tennessee was bringing pressure, and like they were bringing an extra guy in the second half, in the third quarter. And I've seen Arkansas try to do that, and they can't get home.
I thought Tennessee's defense, Clay was talking about this a minute ago. Sometimes, is it better players or is it a bad offensive line? I thought Tennessee had better. I just thought athletically on the defensive line they were far superior. Speed, size, athleticism, the ability to get off blocks. Arkansas's offensive line, look, their pass protection's been good. Arkansas had only given up 6 sacks, if I'm not mistaken, going into this ball game. So they've had a good offensive line in pass pro. But there were times Saturday when it was like nobody was even there.
Yeah, they did. And you know, twists and stunts, you know, they were really good. They schemed some of that. But then again, when they're loose, they're fast enough to get there and really impact the play. And Arkansas hasn't shown that kind of speed in the defensive front.
No.
Athletic ability.
No,
and I'll
close.
just be honest with it. You know, defensive ends, man, they're expensive. They don't come cheap. That's where you see the difference in the NIL, that extra money. You know, you got enough to buy a quarterback. You got to, you know, they spent a lot of money on offensive line. There just wasn't enough to, you know, the only guy that's impacted games that way is Quincy Rhodes, and he's a homegrown guy that you brought in and have developed, and but they haven't been able to go out and get that, you know, that difference maker. I call them, you know, war daddies. You know, it's Cam Ball. You know, will fight you, but he doesn't have that quick step to really impact in the pass rush from the interior. And Tennessee had some of those guys, and I would imagine that they're not cheap.
All right, now to the rest of the season. There's a tough A&M game. You know, you got 3 straight games at home. We know what the back end of the schedule looks like with road games at LSU and Texas and then Missouri coming to Fayetteville. Well, what can this team be?
Yeah, we already know if they can win some of these games, they won't win them all. They're not going to lose them all. They're going to win some of them if they get a handle on the turnover deal. And you can't keep losing turnover 3-0. I mean, every time there's a turnover, it's 40 yards. It's 40 yards that you have to make up. You know, like, you know, that's what a punt is. You know, sometimes it's all right to punt it. You cannot give the other team 40 yards, and in some cases that's points. It's points you say, well, points off turnovers, they just lost 7. Well, that's what Tennessee scored, but they would have scored when the Braylon Russell fumble happened. They're about to score,
right?
And they're moving it, so that's 7 points you lost. So that's 14 in my eyes. Those 2 of the 3 turnovers.
Yeah,
and so if they can do that, and I saw ball security issues in some earlier games, they have to. You know, it's like, you know, Bill Burnett never fumbled. I mean, he didn't fumble in 3 years. And you know why? Because he had 3 points. He had that ball tucked tight to his chest. He never leaned out with it. And that's coaching, guys. That's got to be fixed. And so if they fix that, and I'm sure they're working on it. You know, coaching is not just telling them. Coaching is getting it done. They got to get that done, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like Bart. You know, y'all telling him what to do, but you got to make him do it.
Yeah,
and he does for the most part.
Yeah, he's come into his own. Now, I don't know, it might be different at Big Creek tomorrow. I know you're going to be there.
Are you going to be there tomorrow, Clay?
You going to coach him up?
Be there?
Hey, do I get 3 Noonans?
Yeah, you need to be on the range with Bart like Butch used to be with Tiger.
Yeah, you need to coach him up, man.
Yeah, we need
the T's on the wrong side behind your ear. You got to move it to the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like right in the middle of his back swing. Noonan.
I can't wait for this. Come out tomorrow, Clay, in the morning. Get on the air.
This is going to be Ryder Cup crowds. I've gone around town. And there's going to be 10 guys hiding behind trees throughout the course. You won't know where they're at.
Hanging from trees, climbing trees.
Oh, yeah.
Kids from school. School's been let out.
Bart.
Yeah.
Bart.
Yeah.
Bart.
It's going to be
Bart.
Pullman.
That's it.
All right, Clay. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, glad to do it. Thank you for jumping on with us.
What a triumphant return.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry.
Why does it feel like everybody is rooting against me tomorrow?
Well,
I'm getting tremendous.
Bart,
tremendous
I am
everybody's
for you.
rooting.
I'm rooting for you, Bart, for the record.
I'm rooting for you. I think, Bart, when you set up the whole thing, as I can break 100 at Oakmont.
Yeah, that's what really
And
kind of
Chuck and I unanimously simultaneously said,
"There's no
way." And then it becomes this thing where, like, can he do it? And that's how it gets there.
And it's like, well, he
But
couldn't even break 90 at Big Creek. The next thing you know, we're driving over.
Right.
know.
That's how it happens. Hey, Teamwork Roofing and Construction, they don't fumble. They don't have that issue. They've built a team of certified crews that can tackle any job, and they use the best materials. They put the best things in place. This is not an NIL issue. They have all the great materials, and they have all the great employees, and they're going to communicate with you and come in time and on budget. If you're looking for a quote on a roof today, let me encourage you to make Teamwork Roofing and Construction one of those calls. In fact, just log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com, and get your quote today. Maybe it's a remodel. Their construction crews are equally as amazing when it comes to getting it done on time, on budget, exactly like you wanted. They can gut a place and make it look completely different, just like you envisioned it when you bought it. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, teamworkbuilt.com. Built on quality and powered by teamwork. It's 7:18, Chuck and Bo Show. Good Monday morning.
They're all crazy. Yeah. And I don't mean that in a critical way. We got issues in this room. I'm going to be truthful about that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
High school sports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley have never had a bigger stage. I'm Melissa Orange, host of the Varsity Vibe podcast, and every week we'll be bringing you the stories, highlights, and moments that matter most to our communities. Don't miss a beat. Subscribe to our newsletter, check out the Varsity Vibe podcast, and follow us on social media for the latest scores and spotlight features. Get it all at varsityvibearkansas.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
That's special.
we're running out of time for the fall foliage.
The fall what?
Foliage.
Okay. Is it foliage or foliage?
It's foliage.
Foliage.
It's 3 syllables.
Foliage.
Foliage.
Foliage. It's foliage.
Foliage. Yeah.
Foliage.
The Chuck and Mo Show.
It's National M&M Day. Plain or peanut?
Oh, peanut.
Me too.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter's good.
Peanut butter's good, but I
It
just like
is.
a good old-fashioned peanut M&M.
Mini peanut butter
No.
are the best. Yes.
No, they're not.
Yep.
No, they're not.
Eat it with
Okay.
eat it. Try it with some popcorn at night.
Well,
that
all
problem.
I asked was
Yeah.
plain or peanut. I didn't say like which is the best mini with peanut butter.
Peanut's the worst.
Peanut, Chuck. They're not. What do you mean? Like they're
Plain
the-
is better than
they're the
peanut. Peanut
staple.
butter's better
They're
than both.
America's snack
They're
snack
what?
staple. Snack staple.
They are. M&Ms are.
Put them in a jar, have them on the counter, and just watch them disappear.
That's right.
I won't grab one.
I mean, well, that's okay. That's
yeah, but
fine.
you have uncommon discipline, Edward. I mean,
But
not everyone has that.
When you talk about
Well, it's not about
mini,
health or
when you talk about mini peanut butter M&Ms with popcorn,
phenomenal.
You can't pour the M&Ms in the popcorn. I just go to the bottom. So you're going to have another bowl, which is fine. I'm an advocate of.
They have the resealable bags. You just pop it open right next to the popcorn. It's really not that complicated.
Now, when you buy trail mix, do you buy the kind with the M&Ms in it?
I don't really buy trail mix.
Well,
What did
okay.
you
Well,
say that
sorry,
was
man.
different
Sorry
than
to
what,
bring it up.
Well,
what I was
I don't
describing?
know.
What did you say that was different?
Well, you
than-
said you had to get a whole nother bowl and dump the M&Ms
Well, I'm just.
in.
My point
There's
is
no-
they got to be separate.
Yeah.
You can't pour them in there with the popcorn. They just go to the bottom.
That's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, the sweet and salty.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, try it with potato chips. It works too. Rod's on I-40. I bet he's got a peanut M&Ms right there in the truck with him. Hey, Rod.
Yeah, go and get that throat cleared, man.
I like plain. I mean, maybe I'm just old school. I knew a guy once at Victoria, Texas. I lived down there for a while, and he always exercised. 2% body fat, the kind of guy that makes you sick. He's like 70 years old, runs marathons, great shape, hit by a crosstown bus. So I'm going to eat whatever I want to eat. You know what I mean?
God dang. Wow, what a story.
I mean,
Rest in peace.
Lessons in life
All
right there.
R.I.P. 10% body fat guy. Jeez.
yeah, I mean, I'm going to eat whatever I want. I look like hell, but, it's okay. It's all right. I mean,
How
behind
do
the wheel
you
of this truck
feel,
for 40
Rod?
years.
How do you feel? That's the question.
Oh, I feel with both hands. No, no. I mean,
that's good.
I feel pretty good for 67 years old, almost. The game, I've seen a game plan. I haven't seen a game plan here in a long time. I watched adjustments on defense being made. They weren't always 100%, but at least there's something. I mean, I like the team better. I mean, the intensity was good, but you can't run around with a ball held out like a loaf of bread. You just can't do that. And if you can count to 1,004, failing, you're getting sacked. I'm sorry, this is going to hurt. So just a couple of things to clean up, but the main problem I have was you're up under the goalpost. You're behind. You don't take the 3 points. Matt Jones will tell you, my favorite quarterback of all time, he'll tell you take stinking points. Other than that, I was out buying marshmallows, guys. I thought we were going to win that game for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I really did. I thought we were going to come back. We're going to spank their butt right there in Knoxville.
Needed a little more time. Here's the thing about that fourth down play. If they'd made it, and they didn't, but if they'd made it, I love Petrino's aggressiveness. He plays to win the game. He doesn't play to lose. Well, it didn't work, and look, in retrospect, it sure would have been nice to have had those points. But that's one of those that it's easy to second guess when it's over. And he threw, he threw it out there himself, which kind of added a little fodder, I guess.
Mad about the not kicking the field goal. Kick myself in the head all the time for that one. I feel like we could still be out there playing and seeing if we could win or not. So it's a bad decision. When that happens, it's a bad decision. There's no question about that.
And of all the things he said post-game, that's the thing that probably got pounced on the most, honestly.
Here's a little more depth to what went into making the decision.
Yeah, we went into the game saying, hey, man, we're going to be real aggressive. We're going to have to go score points. And, it worked in 4th and 1. that's where I felt like, oh my gosh, am I really doing this? Going for it on 4th and 1. But they did our O-line and Talon did a great job on that one. And I thought we had the call for the last one, and Braylon Sharp was wide open, and we chose to go to the other side. So that, sometimes you pick the wrong side, and on that one we did.
They kicked a field goal at Ole Miss, and everybody said when it was over, well, they settled for a field goal. Can't be kicking field goals because you can't stop anybody. So, and then, you go for it and you don't make it as well. They should have kicked a field goal. So I can see both sides.
I think that's what he was basically saying when he said they decided going into the game they were going to be aggressive. Is like, we haven't shown the ability to really have a lot of stops on defense. But he wasn't going to say that publicly, but feel like you got to go score points. And I think most of us felt that way in the moment. But guess what? The defense actually stepped up and got some stops when they had to.
They put a little more pressure. If you go back and watch the game again, you'll see that late in the second quarter, they started putting a little more pressure on the quarterback. I'm not saying it was dramatic, and that carried over some into the third quarter. They got him off time a little bit, and I think that led to some of the stops. They stayed in the fight defensively. Not great, but stayed in the fight.
That fourth down thing that probably wasn't talked about I haven't heard talked about, is the fact they burned a timeout. When you burn a timeout there, when you're going to go for it and you burn a timeout, you kind of feel like now you really got to go for it, right? And that timeout probably cost them a little bit at the end, too, in terms of Tennessee being able to run the clock out when you're down 3.
I didn't love the spot on that on the previous play before the 4th and 3. I didn't think they got a very good spot on that. Initially I thought it was going to be about 4th and a yard and a half or 2, and then all of a sudden it's 4th and 3, and you got a lot more ground to cover there.
Dave's in Fort Smith. Hey Dave, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, I'm a peanut M&M guy myself. Just kind of. My wife told me I needed to eat more colored vegetables like green, yellow, and red, and so forth. So I went and got a package of peanut M&Ms.
I feel you. Yeah.
Been eating them ever since. Hey,
I saw you.
AJ Green, what?
AJ was hurt Saturday. He was listed as out. I'm not sure what the injury is, to be honest with you, but he was out Saturday.
Well, I hadn't seen him all year, so I wondered what the situation was. So
he played a little bit. Did he play in the ASU game or the Alabama A&M game? Might have played in both of them. I know he played in one because I can remember calling his name and talking about him.
Okay, I just didn't remember seeing him this year.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good running back, isn't he?
Well, he was. I don't know exactly what his physical situation is now, and I think that's the biggest thing. He went to Oklahoma State and came back here, but he came back here as a walk-on. And I'm not speaking with certainty, so I don't want to act like I am, but I've wondered about his physical situation.
877-377-6963. We'll take some more calls, get your reaction. We've got some texts coming in. And what are you thinking coming out of the weekend after Arkansas loses 34-31 at Tennessee? James Franklin's been fired at Penn State. Alex Mortensen is the interim head coach after Trent Dilfer's firing at UAB. A lot of stuff going on.
And the guy at Oregon State.
Yeah, that guy.
Don't know his name.
Yeah, that guy got fired. Jobs are opening left and right. October, firing season.
Trent Bray.
Okay.
Trent Bray was the head coach at Oregon State.
Flight by Yingling has delivered a bunch of hats. I got one on now. Some pullovers.
I'll be wearing mine tomorrow.
Gart's golf bag.
Yeah. Wow. Gart's.
Wow.
Bart's golf bag. Flight by Yingling golf bag.
What do you put in your golf bag?
It's a nice golf bag.
It sure
is.
Hey,
I'll tell you something I noticed on that as I was starting to load my clubs and stuff into the bag.
There are a bunch of beers in there.
I'm interested in the stuff part.
There's a cooler pocket in the bag. Ooh. I've never seen this in a golf bag before.
Wow.
There's like a pocket that has like the inside is like a cooler, so you can
insulated.
you can stick like a couple of beverages in there and an ice pack in there, and it'll keep them cold.
Are you going to put a Flight by Yingling in there or a Fireball?
Definitely one, possibly both.
How many flights will Bart drink tomorrow during his round?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, we don't need to get into that. This is more rhetorical. Yeah. Flight by Yingling, it's only 95 calories, tastes like a light beer, tastes like a Yingling. You get that flavor, but it is a light beer, and it's light on you. But it is it's the next generation of light beer.
It's light on you.
It is. Well, it's not like a heavy beer.
It looks light on you.
It feels light on you, too. Flight by Yingling Rays a glass. The next generation of light beer. Back in a minute. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because we don't want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Truck Month is here at Chevrolet of Fayetteville, and the savings are big. Get up to $12,000 off new Silverados, up to $8,000 off Chevy 2500s, and up to $5,000 off Chevy Colorado. That's real money back in your pocket. Plus more inventory, more discounts, and better service than anywhere else in Northwest Arkansas. Stop by today and see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Together, let's drive.
You know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart's over there fact-checking. Kind of ruined.
Just ruined the whole day for me. Has everything I've said on this show been fact-checked?
This would not have happened. This would not have happened.
Have you gone home and fact-checked everything I've said?
No.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, back to the phones we go. 877-377-6963. You can join the Chuck and Bo Show like millions of Americans every day.
Like Charlie and Camden.
Yeah, let's go to Charlie. Charlie, good morning. You're on. What's happening?
There's no millions down here, I can promise you that.
Well, every single one of them, though, is ours.
All about, the population, I think, is a little, they say over 10,000. I can tell you it's probably less than that now, Chuck. So if you want to claim all of us, then you go right ahead.
I will.
But,
I'll do it in a heartbeat.
I'll tell you what, Chuck. For this defense to lose the turnover battle, well, the way they competed, man, in that third quarter, when the offense was just stone cold. I mean, just went flat out cold again, and that's frustrating. I'll give them a lot of credit. Because, I mean, they held that offense. I mean, that team has scored, I think, 40 every game at least. I know they put up
averaged
41.
51 a game. Tennessee had averaged 51 a game.
And they put up 41 on Georgia. I mean, that offense is arguably one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the country, right up there with anybody. You could argue that.
Statistically, it's the best. Statistically, it's the best offense.
And for me, that's my point to this, is that you hold that offense to 34 points and you have 3 fumbles and you have a turnover on downs. So really you kind of turned it over 4 times. And, I mean, the fact of the matter, the short change, whenever Taylor fumbled around, I think it was around their 40, whatever it was, and then they get a 3 and out. I mean, and they responded, I thought, to adversity for the most part. Were they perfect? No. But, I mean, you saw the effort. You saw guys running to the ball. Steven Dixon, Sorey, whatever they did to simplify it for those 2 guys, the top 2 tackling leaders on the team, they played one of their better games of the year, both of those guys. I thought Bradley Shaw did a decent job. And that was key. Look, I know everyone, wants to criticize, here and there about Taylor and some of the things he does, but I was listening to Matt Jones after the game, and, of course, I called in. That guy gives this team a chance to win every week. By the way, he was getting creamed in that third quarter, and for him to continue to get back up and keep fighting the way he did and to honestly give this team a chance to win, I commend him. You wish we could do a little better job and take care of the ball, but all those fumbles aren't on him. All of them are not. Some of it is play call. You got to, like Bobby said, man, I mean, we can't be running against 7-man boxes. So we got to figure that third quarter stuff out. I just hope the team don't let go of the rope, Chuck. I really do. I hope that they come out this week. I know we got an undefeated A&M team coming in. But let's go out there and battle and see what we can do at home. We've battled on the road. If we can take care of the ball, good job on the penalties, too. I think we only had 2 or something like that.
They did a good job there.
Great job. I mean, in discipline, 7 or 13. The defense holding them to 2 for 9 on third down. That's crazy. They ain't done that all year. So they simplified some things. They played better, and let's build on it. I'm going to keep my head up. I know, man, 2-4 sucks, but they're just right there. I hope they can pull a few of these off. Y'all have a good one.
The problem that Petrino inherits here, along with other things, is the idea that they're looking better and they almost won the game, and it was yet another one-score game that they couldn't figure out a way to win. And people are going to carry that over, whether you should or not. But this is, you're taking over in the middle of the season. I thought the job of being organized, being prepared, looking like they were ready to play was a good job by the coaching staff and the players, to maybe the other way around, the players and the coaches, to get in a position to go compete in that game. But every time they lose, I think it's like it takes a little bit more of your soul. And how do you avoid that happening?
You have to win. At some point, you have to win. And, again, for us, we feel renewed, because we watched our team play with heart on Saturday. We watched them battle. Now, we've watched it before. We just watched it from a little bit different perspective this time. But fans are encouraged. But the players have lost 4 straight games, and they need to win, because there does come a point where, you talk about not letting go of the rope, or, pick your cliche, whatever you want to say. But there does come a point where you have to have a payoff, or that begins to wane.
How we feel matters. If you're losing, you can overcome it. You can dig deep. You can try to fight off the adversity. But how we feel matters. And I talk about the sweating them edge a lot. Like, you can overcome things every day. You can have a bad day and fight through it. But when you don't have to do that and things feel better, like, for example, you have more energy, you're not having to put a bunch of caffeine in you to just make yourself go. I mean, it can be life-changing, life-giving, and that's what the Sweat on Edge is designed to do. It really is all about just getting evaluated and seeing where you are in life. Whether you're 30 or 70, you could potentially feel better. If you're lethargic, finding yourself fatigued every afternoon, maybe you're not sleeping well. I mean, there's a lot of things that your body might be missing that could be the key ingredient. So the Sweat on Edge is designed to help you with that. I've done it. It's helped me tremendously over the last 6-8 months, and I'm quite confident it can happen for you too if that's what you're dealing with. Log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com or just search the Sweatnum Edge and get your game changed today. 7:45, good morning. Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eye. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere in the great state of Arkansas. Our inaugural raffle jackpots grew to nearly $500,000 last spring. Now you can be our next big winner, even if you're not in the stadium. Get your raffle ticket purchased to have a chance to win big right now at RazorbackRaffle.com.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You're going to be there, right?
Maybe.
Well, I'm saving you a seat.
I'm giving it the big maybe.
The hard maybe.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I noticed Holly in Bentonville's really picked up on the texting lately.
Do you know her, Bart?
No idea.
I just wondered.
No idea.
I think Bo already had a Yingling, but she spelled it Yingling, which
is that not how you spell it?
No,
you got to have a U and an E in there, don't you?
Yeah, it's Y.
She spelled it phonetically.
Yengling.
Well, you got. I mean, you can't take points away for that.
No,
though. I mean, it's not an easy spell.
It's just another opportunity to talk about flight for me.
Just added value.
Let's go to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Bart, we've got coaches getting fired.
Yeah.
Catch us up on that and tell us who's going to the chopping block next.
Well, James Franklin's out at Penn State.
$49 million buyout.
Trent Dilfer, unsurprisingly, fired at UAB. That was a long time
Not a
coming.
$49 million.
No, I don't know what that one is.
$49.
Oregon State has fired Trent Bray is his name.
Yeah.
After an 0-7 start.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the worst start for the Beavers since 1991 when they started 0-10.
Yeah.
Like people expected him to be good.
So,
though.
These are some of the jobs that are open. We'll call them the Power 4 jobs that are open already. In addition to Arkansas, you have Penn State, Oklahoma State, Stanford, Virginia Tech, and UCLA. And there are going to be a lot more on the way, I think.
Who gets Jerry Neuheisel?
Maybe UCLA.
I mean, he's not even the head coach. He's the offensive coordinator. He's getting credit for everything that's happened out there.
That's true.
I mean, it's incredible.
Boy wonder. Went from tight ends coach to calling plays, and they won 2 straight games.
He's been there like 5 years.
Maybe
Nobody
State
figured out.
handily.
Maybe the guy was pretty smart.
No, that's been a talking point.
So I'm gonna run through some coaching jobs, and you tell me whether or not you think this job will be open by the end of the year or not. Florida State.
Oh. No.
That's a tough one.
I'm going to say no.
Well, I think it's going to be open.
Okay.
I'm going to lean toward
they're
no.
over in the ACC.
I'm going to lean toward no, but only because of the money.
Great call on the Pitt lock, by the way.
Yeah, that
Thank
was
you.
good.
Wisconsin.
Yes.
He's out. I thought he'd be fired yesterday.
I think Michigan State is one that could potentially be open. Things aren't going very well
Haven't
there.
thought about it.
Well, they're in the Big Ten.
No, I understand. I just didn't know their situation. I wasn't being sarcastic.
Kentucky.
No.
I think it might be time there.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying.
Auburn.
Yes.
Yes.
Freeze is going to be out.
Florida.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, they've hung on as long as they can. And Billy Napier is an example of a guy who's a good coach. It's just not working. And by the way, Florida's fired guys that have done less than him. Will Muschamp, or have done more than him. Will Muschamp, Dan Mullen, Billy Napier's been short of that. We'll get to calls coming up here. This is a short segment, but we'll do it
one more that
after
sounds insane right now, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Oklahoma.
No, but
they are 5-1 right now. But I think they're about to get away from them.
They've still not quite figured it out, and I think Oklahoma's better than they were a year ago. But I still think their people are a little bit delusional on how tough this league is going to be.
Here's another.
They're not done losing. I'll put it that way. The rest of the year is going to be a tough row for them.
Another thing to look at is ranking these jobs. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're a top coach looking for jobs, in what order would you entertain these jobs? Fit's a big deal, but let's just talk about from a coach's
Arkansas's
perspective.
number 2 right now, I think.
The attractiveness of a job. Well, with some of these schools, FSU, Wisconsin,
right now.
Michigan State, Auburn, Florida. If a coach is picking, which one are they picking?
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But
But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Chris in Fayetteville, you're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Well, the reality is, guys, in the sports world, fans, we all think we know. We know everything about sports. We have all the answers. Now, when you take your car down to get it fixed, you don't look at the guy and go, that's not how you do that. Are you an idiot? That's not how that works. You don't go to the doctor's office and say, I don't know. I don't really like. Some people are absolute know-it-alls. They want to tell the pilot how to fly the plane. But most of us know. We realize that's not our lane. But in sports, it's everybody's lane.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I didn't realize all the planning that goes into an event like we're going to be part of tomorrow at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. Bart, breaking Bart, breaking 90, Bart breaking 90, whatever you want to call it.
Breaking Bart is
breaking Bart's kind of the way I viewed it, but you got to get all the planning, and we're trying to decide how many people.
Again, it sounds like nobody's rooting for you.
No, actually, Bart, in a strange way, I am rooting for you. But
weren't you rooting for the guy in Breaking Bad? Weren't you rooting for all of them? Just pull yourself together.
Say my name.
Yeah. We're all trying to figure out what the best pace for Bart. Anyone that plays golf knows pace is important. You know, you don't want to play with a bunch of people that are slow. It's okay if you're not any good. Just be bad in a hurry. And that's just the truth.
No, it is.
It's the truth. There's no shame in not being good. Just do it fast.
Right. I've got the hat. Play bad fast.
Okay. And those are words to live by. So if Bart's going to have the best chance to break 90, the pace has got to be what Bart would like. Otherwise, it's like playing a road game. So we've been trying to figure out during the break. Bart goes from, I don't care. You guys set it up however you'd like to. Now, I don't want to have to wait.
Yeah.
So
well, it is tough. It is tough when you're standing around a lot and you don't get to hit and, you can't get in a rhythm. And it's sort of like offensively, you want to get the ball. That's where these fumbles really kill you, by the way, because you're moving the ball down the field.
You're getting in a rhythm.
You're in a rhythm. You're moving. Momentum's coming your direction. And then you fumble. And it's just it's the worst way to stop a drive. Like on yourself offensively. 877-377-6963. Before we go to the phones, tonight, Big Creek Country Club, Plainview Beef Company will be, and Chuck, I hate that you're going to have to get there late because you've got a Razorback thing that you've got to do, and then you'll be rolling into Mountain Home at the crack of midnight.
No, I won't be that late.
And then you're going to, pull yourself together to do the show tomorrow.
I will pull myself together.
Bart and I, it's kind of like a champions dinner before the event tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
There's a cocktail hour and then the plates with Plainview beef fillets. Plainview beef, the cleanest beef you'll get anywhere, no preservatives. They've got more creatine in their steaks, better protein, and you do not get inflamed when you eat these steaks.
And they
it
taste
actually has
great.
a positive. Yes, I had them last night. I ordered one of the 6 orders of 6 8-ounce fillets, got them. Came back. I was in Mountain Home because we had to reschedule this thing. I'm going to be in Mountain Home like 2 out of 4 days now. But I got back last night, grilled a couple of these steaks. Oh, man, we had a great meal. I mean, this is the second time I've had these. The beef sticks are great. If you order plainviewbeef.com, order whatever you want, use the promo code ChuckAndBo and get 12 free beef sticks. They call them steak sticks, but they're your beef stick that you've been accustomed to eating, except for, Edward, they're better than any beef stick you've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
They're not chewy, and they taste
I got
great.
to try one of these fillets.
And you're getting like 10 grams of
can I get a
protein
steak
in there.
I mean, can me and Edward
Yes.
get a steak?
Yes.
Could we?
Yeah, I'll give you guys a couple of fillets.
Good deal.
And I know
My stomach is growling.
Yeah.
right now.
Well,
I mean, I keep hearing about how good they are.
They
I'm
are.
like, well,
They're phenomenal.
okay.
Well, you have to try it. But I thought you were going to get your experience tonight
I know.
until we had a scheduling
I'm
conflict.
just talking.
8:06. Good morning. Here's Ben in Fayetteville. Ben, thanks for holding.
Hey, no problem, Bo. I got a question for you. I believe we're looking at a team that should be 5-1 right now, and probably ranked in the top 10, maybe the top 15. But and you were talking about just a minute ago about momentum killers. They had 4 fumbles against Tennessee on Saturday. 3 they lost, which if they would have had not made those mistakes, I think you could make the argument for anyone that they would have beat Tennessee on the road. I believe without the fumble against Ole Miss, we beat them on the road. We beat Memphis on the road. Those are 3 huge road wins. And I'm going to give the Notre Dame game to Notre Dame because it was just a master class in what happened here. But I think the whole momentum of the team, the whole momentum of the season, I think they'd be trying to find a road right now to name after Sam Pittman and probably put a statue somewhere on Dixon Street. But, I mean, it you know, the way the ball fumbles, the cookie crumbles, whatever you want to call it. But we would be talking completely different. You know it. I know it. Everybody should realize that. Fayetteville would be electric right now. Arkansas would be on a high like nobody's business, but this team, for some reason, just snatches the defeat from the jaws of victory. Do you think that they would have won that game without the 3-4 fumbles on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they'd have won it. Fumbles happen in different ways. You know, Clay talked about this a bit earlier, and you know, you just go back and watch the video from Saturday. Take Green's 2 fumbles. Those fumbles happen because first somebody missed a blocking assignment. He was running for his life. He fumbled the football on the move. Russell's fumble was different. You know, somebody got a hat on it, somebody pulled it out. So there are different types of fumbles, different types of turnovers. To me, you take 2 of those 3 turnovers away Saturday, it's a different deal. Look, the common denominator among teams that don't win games is generally turnovers. You know, it's very often that's the telling stat. So when you say Arkansas would be 5-1 without the turnovers, well, yeah, of course they would. But that's not the way it played out. But again, sometimes fumbles are total breakdowns, and I won't say that Green's fumbles were total breakdowns Saturday, but they did come because somebody missed a block somewhere.
Well, the first fumble Talon had, he's running to escape pressure. The second fumble he had
was an incomplete
pass, but it was still caused by the defense, the way that they hit his arm. And then the fumble Braylon Russell had, I mean, you can argue about ball security there, but those are the kinds of fumbles that you see even good players have because of the way you get hit. The problem is that it's the same song and dance all over again. But I would submit this to you. All of what Ben said is true, and we've talked about it a lot. But to me, it's as if Arkansas is not as talented as the teams they're playing. And they're fighting for every single thing they can get. And therefore, mistakes, you can't overcome them. And so they're magnified. You know, we go back and look at teams that won over the weekend. There's 2 things that those teams aren't talking about. They're not talking about if they turned it over 2 or 3 times because they overcame it. The other thing they're not talking about is officiating. There's bad officiating in every game, and it can be against both teams. But you don't even remember it or think about it if you win the game. If you lose, you're going back to look at all the ways you could have won the game. But it is maddening that Arkansas is losing this way. I'm also looking at it like these guys are playing hard and they're punching above their head.
At times they are. Part of the thing with the turnovers is Arkansas is not forcing any. You know, it's not to say, you know, you got to match them turnover for turnover. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that we've not had any of those momentum plays. You know, you talk about how it kills the Razorbacks' momentum when they fumble, and certainly it does. You got to kill somebody else's momentum. And fumbles are not always giveaways. You know, as fans, and I do this too, it's like, well, they gave the ball away. Well, a lot of times a guy put a hat on the ball, punched it out, did something to force that fumble. Well, we got to force some fumbles. I mean, you got to force some fumbles yourself. You got to put enough pressure on the quarterback that he throws before he wants to, and you pick it off. That's what's happened to Talon. You make that quarterback make that read a half second earlier than he wants to, and all of a sudden he doesn't see that linebacker. That's happened to Green a lot. Arkansas is not doing that. And so when you turn it over and then you don't make them turn it over, the numbers really get lopsided, and it becomes the reason sometimes you lost the game.
Yeah. It's been difficult, but at the same time, seeing them compete, I thought was positive on Saturday. What does it mean from here on out? What are we thinking is going to happen? And I haven't heard anything that makes me think Petrino has any less of a shot at the job coming out of the game.
I think with the fans, with the people, so to speak, I think he came out stronger than he went in, and he went in pretty strong.
877-377-6963 if you want to hop in on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hey, we tell you all the time, if you find yourself in a jam, you don't have to fight it alone, whatever that jam is. Maybe it's your own personal issue that you just found yourself like, oh, man, I made a mistake there. I got an issue. Maybe it's you got some claim that's not being met that you got to figure out how to get help on, struggling to get Social Security disability. Whatever it is, Bill Reynolds and the attorneys at Cadell Reynolds know how to fight for Arkansans and get results. They've been doing it for a long time. They've got your back. You don't have to face it alone. The best part is you can get a free consultation by logging on to CadellReynolds.com or give them a call. Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728. Make the right call. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
The voice of the Razorbacks is Chuck Barrett, and he chose McDonald Eye Associates for his recent cataract surgery.
I went to McDonald Eye. I can see in a way I've not seen in a long time. And I'm looking forward to this football season because of that. Your eyes are a big deal. I don't care if you're a sports play-by-play guy or what you do. You have to have trust. My trust was developed because I knew they were listening to me.
For your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When's the last time you wrote someone a handwritten note?
It's been a while, I have to admit. I mean, I've sent a lot of what I consider
Birthday
to be
cards.
meaningful texts. But I have...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think we've gotten to the bottom of why Bart was a little bit dejected at the start of the show today. A mere 1-1-1 weekend on the locks. And, we've grown accustomed to this 2-1, always a winning record. But 1-1-1 over the weekend. Pitt was a nice choice, though.
Pitt was a nice choice. Yeah, Pitt not only covered the 10.5-point spread, they won the game outright against Florida State in Tallahassee. Alabama pushed. They were 3-point favorites at Missouri and won by exactly 3 points. And then Oregon, a 7-point favorite, got beat by an Indiana team who's never won a game like that before.
You took Oregon. You took Oregon in the locks. I'd forgotten about that.
It was a three time zone game.
You forgot to Google Kirk Signetti.
Yeah, apparently.
Kurt Signetti. Google him. He wins, man.
Him
All he does is
How about
wins.
this? Seriously, let's just talk about Indiana briefly. How about this? Like, I know people are going to all over the country look at Kurt Signetti and be like, see, I told you, you hire a coach, you hire the right guy, and bang, this is what can happen. But this is so unusual.
Most people didn't even know who Kurt Signetti was when Indiana hired him. I remembered the name only because it's kind of a catchy name from having been on Saban's staff at Alabama. He was on the staff at the same time Kirby Smart was.
2010, there's a photo posted somewhere today.
Yeah, that's a great picture. That's a great picture. Yeah. But it's not like people across America were saying, man, we got to hire Kurt Signetti. The best he could get was Indiana.
By the way, some of those schools, Power 4 schools, would have been, the AD would have been run out of town for doing it.
Exactly.
But in Indiana, you can do it.
I watched a short video last night of when he spoke to their crowd at the basketball game. You know how they always introduce the football coach at the basketball game. They gave the obligatory cheers, and when he said Purdue sucks, they all went nuts. But there was no way you could watch that and have any idea what was about to happen with their football program there. He knew. I mean, he had the vision. But, to me, the impressive things this year is not to say that, even a one-off's not impressive. It is. But I think a lot of people, myself included, wondered what would they be like this year? Would they drop off? I suspected they would. They've not only not dropped off, they've gotten better. They're a legitimate contender for the national championship. Last year, they were a playoff contender. This year, they're a championship contender. So they've made another step.
If you go look at the top 10, and maybe we won't hit all of them, but I'm just looking right. Ohio State, you know what Ohio State is, but they wanted to fire Ryan Day after he lost to Michigan last year.
And if he loses to him this year, they'll want to fire him again.
and then he goes on and wins but I mean, it was not just.
No, you're
it
right.
Was loud.
No, everyone is like.
Everybody was talking about
when's
it.
he going to get fired?
Yeah.
Not if, but
Yeah.
when.
Miami, Mario Cristobal. How many years has he been there? 4 or 5? I mean, this has been percolating and building and developing for a while now. He's been at it for a handful of years. And that's coming to fruition. But
This is year 4.
Okay, it felt like it was a good fit when he went there, but it's taken a little time, and now they're number 2 in the country. Okay, Indiana out of nowhere. Okay, Mike Elko, is he in his second year at A&M?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Elko, I mean, that looks like a legit team. Is A&M going to be a playoff team this year? They're coming to Fayetteville this weekend.
Well, unless they collapse, yes.
Ole Miss, I don't know what to think about Ole Miss.
I still think they're good. I think Saturday was an aberration.
Defensively.
Saturday was a look-ahead game.
Yeah, they're playing Georgia.
Classic.
I mean, we're going to find out this week.
game.
We're going to find out this week how legitimate Ole Miss is.
Alabama's 6th in the AP poll. Is Alabama going to make the playoff?
Right now, I would say yes.
Kalen DeBoer, year 2. We had him fired week 1. The whole country did.
I'm not sold yet, but they are playing a lot better. I just think there's so much yet to happen in this league. I mean, there's half the season left.
I know. What do we really know yet?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, what do we really know? And then Texas Tech. Texas Tech comes in at 7. They haven't lost a game. They're 6-0, which, by the way, Georgia Tech is also 6-0.
They're beating the crap out of everybody they play. Texas Tech.
Texas Tech will make the playoff. I still don't think.
I don't know how good they are.
To me, they're this year's Indiana. I mean, they'll make the playoff. I can't see them getting past game or two.
I think we all agree Dan Lanning's a really good coach, and Oregon's going to be about where they are right now every year. I just think they lost to a really good team, which is hard to say, but I just think they lost because you don't say Indiana's a really good team.
We
it's
still
new.
don't really know how good a lot of the Big Ten is, if we're being honest too.
Well, do we know how good Georgia is, for example? Like, how good are these teams in the SEC?
We're going to find out a lot about.
Do we
Georgia
know
on
how
Saturday.
good A&M, Ole Miss, and Georgia, the top three, and Alabama, the top 4 teams, 4 SEC teams?
Is there a
that are
great
in the
team
top 10?
in the
LSU's
bunch?
a 5th.
Is there a great team in the
There's
bunch?
5 SEC teams in the top 10.
And I think 4 of them are really good.
Really
which
good,
ones?
great championship contenders.
A&M, Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia.
You didn't say LSU.
They've got problems on offense, man. It's going to cost them too. They are. LSU is an underdog, opened as an underdog to Vanderbilt this weekend.
How about this? The SEC.
Think about that sentence I just said.
Well, say it one more time.
LSU is an underdog to Vanderbilt this weekend.
Where are they playing?
In Nashville.
It's in Nashville.
All right.
The Jerry DiNardo Bowl.
To Jerry DiNardo.
That's what I'm calling it. I don't know if anybody else is doing it, but that's what I'm going for.
Of the top 11 teams in the AP poll, 6 of them are from the SEC. But out of the top 3 in the country, the SEC is not represented.
Yeah, shut out.
A&M, 4, Ole Miss 5, Alabama 6, right behind that. So they got 3 teams in a row, 3 through 6. And I don't know that it really matters at the top, when we're talking about that kind of difference. But, I mean, I don't want to say it's wide open, but it feels kind of open in terms of who's going to win it all. Who's going to get to the playoff, go on a run, and win it all. And I think it speaks to the portal, good and bad. But Georgia, when Kirby got it going there a couple of years ago, did you think Georgia was going to be in a position? And by the way, Carson Beck left Georgia, went to Miami, and got better.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Even with all that drama in the offseason.
I'll tell you what Miami's done. They have, and you talked about Cristobal being in his 4th year. That's given him time to, build the lines of scrimmage. That was always, and it's the deal a lot of times with ACC and Big 12 teams, is when they get up against the big boys, they get beat on the line of scrimmage. They've got skill players, great quarterbacks, fast receivers, but generally their offensive line gets dominated by a good team's defensive line. And that's not happening as much with Miami now.
Like, while we're talking about the top 3, I still want to see Ohio State play a really good team.
That's fair.
Well, they got Indiana in a couple of weeks, right?
No,
they don't play Indiana?
Their remaining schedule is Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and Michigan.
Yeah,
I want to see them play a really good team.
Yeah.
They don't have to.
Before I know how good
Well,
they
you're
are.
not going to get that opportunity.
Right.
Find out in the playoff.
It's the same conversation, though, with Indiana and Oregon and Penn State. I think Indiana's pretty good. I think Oregon's pretty good. But the best team Oregon had played was a Penn State team that turned out to not be very good.
If you had to pick one right now, who do you pick? I mean, if you had to pick one team right now and say that team's the favorite, that's the one you've got to beat.
I'm sticking with the one I said from the beginning, Alabama.
Yeah, but are you sticking with it just because you're sticking with it, or do you really feel like they're the best team right now?
I feel like they may well be the best team right now. I think it is a battle between Miami, A&M, and Alabama. I think those are the 3 best teams in college football.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, man, Missouri was impressive on Saturday.
Yeah, they were.
But that's another team.
They're good.
That's another team that's been good. But to Bart's point, I want to see Ohio State play somebody. You're Missouri, and you're good, and you get Alabama at home, and Alabama's been a little, not quite sure, and you feel like you got to win that game to take a step as a program. I mean, there's people all over the country, whether you're, mid-level or you're playing at the top, trying to get over the hump. That's what made the Indiana win so impressive. If Indiana goes to Oregon and they lose a tight game, I mean, it's just like, well, here we are again with another team that can't quite get there.
This is a big find out some stuff weekend in college football.
All right, give it to me.
So you've got LSU at Vanderbilt, right? Georgia Tech plays a really tough game on the road at a pretty good Duke team, a program that's been pretty good since Manny Diaz got there. We won't learn a single thing about Ohio State. We won't learn a single thing about Ohio State until the playoff, probably.
Unless they slip up and lose a game that they shouldn't lose.
Right. Which they do. They
Well,
have a
it
tendency
happens
to
in
do
college
that.
football all over the place.
Ole Miss is at Georgia this weekend. SMU is at Clemson. Kind of the last shot for both those teams to kind of get the season back on track in the ACC with the way other teams in that league are playing. We've got, Tennessee and Alabama this weekend.
Is that in Knoxville?
That is in Tuscaloosa.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
In Tuscaloosa. And USC, off to a good start this year, ranked. They're at Notre Dame.
Yeah. By the way, the Tennessee game was the only home game they play in all of October.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
I mean, there was not an empty seat in the house Saturday when Arkansas was there for that. I mean, and that's the reason. It was the only home game in October.
But this is it's interesting because when we went to the playoff, expanded the playoff, we thought, does every regular season game have as much meaning? But like back when we had the BCS or you had two teams.
I'd argue it has even more meaning.
Playoff. Well, that's what's interesting to me is because when you said this is a prove it weekend, which weekend is it moving forward?
Well, see, some of that, though, I mean, think about this. Ole Miss and Georgia, great game. In many respects, prove it to me weekend. The loser still got a very real shot to be in the playoff.
Sure.
In fact, I would say the loser is better than a 50-50 chance of getting into the playoff. So some losses matter more than others. Sometimes you get into a regular season game, like, for example, if you're a one or two loss team that's got designs on the playoff, I mean, you have no margin for error. So every game is huge because you're basically playing playoff football from the fourth week on or fifth week on. But for other teams, you can lose a game here and there and still get into the playoff.
I'm digging in. Go ahead.
Here's an interesting thing. Keep an eye on LSU because there's a chance that if they lose, again, they are an underdog, a 2.5-point underdog at Vanderbilt this weekend. If they lose this game, their next two games are A&M and Alabama. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could lose 3 in a row like that.
Chuck, do you know what the line is? Don't tell them. Do you know what the line is, Edward? Do you know what the line is on the Arkansas A&M game, the opening line, Oaklawn Sports? I just pulled it up.
I do not.
Just take a guess.
10.5.
All right. What do you think, Edward? They opened up as a 12.5-point dog at Tennessee.
I'm going to go with that same number, 12.5.
7.5. Oaklawn Sports opens the week with Arkansas as a 7.5 game. It's a gambling trap.
It's a gambling trap.
You think A&M is going to win by more than that?
Who does A&M have next? Do you have their schedule over there?
A&M has LSU and Baton Rouge.
After the Razorbacks? Mm-hmm. Well, they might be looking ahead a little bit. I don't know.
Oaklawn Sports.
I
wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't count on it, but maybe,
Download the Oaklawn Sports app. New customers earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Bet with Arkansas's best sports betting app. Got all the props and all the NFL stuff. Anything you can imagine is there. But Arkansas, A&M, the Aggies favored by 7.5. Also, log on to oaklawn.com. Check out the racing seasons. They got 2 of them this week or this year. Racing year. They got 1 season to end the year, and then another season starting later in January. They're calling it the holiday season, which goes the 12th through January 4th, and the classic season, which starts again on the 30th and goes through May 2nd at Oaklawn. Oaklawn.com. Check out the upcoming events at the Event Center. What an amazing resort and an experience with incredible restaurants and a spa that we have nothing like anywhere near our state right now. A 4-star Forbes-rated spa experience. It's Oaklawn and Oaklawn.com. 8:32, the Chuck and Bo Show. It's Monday.
You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Particularly in the South, I'm not sure there's a title that carries more weight than coach. Maybe preacher.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
tell you one thing, but listen, what a great show. The best sports show in the state is, no doubt, the Chuck and Bo Show. No doubt about it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It sure looked like they had a big time in Hot Springs yesterday. Basketball team was down there and saw all those pictures and had a big crowd, I'm sure, and big day.
Yeah, and a lot of guys scored a lot of points.
Yeah, they've got some players, guys who can score.
That'll happen in an exhibition game. Malik Thomas, 21. Acuff Jr., 20. TB had 15 and 9. Carter Knox had 19 and 7. Malik Ewan, 19 and 12. DJ Wagner, 18 points. Nick Pringle, 22 and 10. Isaiah Seeley had 14 points and 5 rebounds.
Pringle's the X factor for this team, I think. I think that's
okay.
I think he's the guy who is going to make a huge difference.
He sure could
on this year's team.
He sure could.
He's one of those tough guys who's going to get loose balls, get rebounds. He's going to score some points too. But he's just got that attitude about him that like this team is gonna be able to lean on.
He's a better offensive player maybe than you might think. I mean, he's got more ball skills, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
You think of him as being a bruiser, and he is. I mean, he's a presence inside. I remember last year. I mean, gosh, all he did was pin the guy on his hip, and they lobbed it over, and he caught it and dunked it. And I mean, he was the dominant guy.
Piece they wanted to go out and get that they felt like they were missing, and this team, really could have easily been in the Elite Eight.
Go back to the tournament last year. Arkansas got eliminated in large part because of rebound.
That's right.
I think this is going to be an elite defensive team this year.
Could be.
They were pretty good defensively last year. Elite defensive team this year.
Boy, it makes up a big difference when you can rebound the ball to finish off a defensive possession.
Right. That's part of the reason why. Yeah. They gave up some second chance points last year now. But this year, those are going to be hard to come by.
They just look like a really well-rounded roster. Like we got to see them go play together. How does that all come together? But, for Cal to go out and put the kind of schedule he put together, it tells you at least how he feels about his team.
Telltale sign.
And they're going to play some massive they're playing the entire Elite Eight.
Well, and not to mention Cincinnati and Memphis are better than average exhibition opponents. Those in some years would be the marquee games on the schedule, and you're playing them in an exhibition
Yeah, from a
game.
non-conference standpoint.
Exactly.
Also, it'll be Auburn will be interesting because of the Bruce Pearl move out to Stephen Pearl. They had the best year in school history last year. And now they change coaches sort of, at almost a strange time. It's also strange that all these coaches are going into politics. And we've seen a number of them. Now, Todd Graham was another one that was brought up as potentially doing that the other day.
Todd Graham.
Former Arizona State coach, former Tulsa coach.
9-3, let's send him to Washington.
There's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Who's going to be the next coach to run for Senate in Arkansas? Where's it going to come from? To come out of the past.
Petrino could run.
Petrino
could run and win.
Hey, Petrino, his Q rating is high. His popularity rating is high right now. Am I wrong?
No, it's yes. No, you're not wrong. Yes, it is high. It is way up there. I said this a little bit earlier. The people are on his side, and it's going to be interesting to see this process play out because it's going to take something bad. A series of losses for him to lose the people. He's got them. The fans are with him. And I'll tell you why. Because he knows them better than anybody involved in this process. This is one thing that gets lost, and I believe it's why he has the inside track. Petrino knows the people of our state better than the people who are in the administration building. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. Petrino's been the coach here for 4 years. I was with him on a lot of them. He'd do 30 Razorback clubs a year. He knows where to go get the money. And look, your head coach has got to be a big part of your fundraising effort. This idea that it's just your AD's job to go out and raise the money.
I agree.
Your head coach has got to be a big part of this. Cal's a big part of the money raising when it comes to basketball. The idea that your head coach is just hands off when it comes to money raising, that's not part of it. Sam Pittman raised more money than you think when it comes to NIL money. But Petrino knows everybody. And he understands the people of the state. He sat in rooms with our fans and analyzed them. Don't think he wasn't analyzing them when he was sitting up there on that stage. He knows the players. The people in large, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, but Petrino knows more people around our state than our administration does.
You're saying more about him than anything else.
Well, maybe so, but that's what gives him the inside track, and that's why the people are with him, because they think they know him, because he's been to their town, because he acted like they were important. He talked to them, and we've not done that. We've not done that in a long time, and he won. So those things are all going to factor into this, but that to answer that doesn't mean I think he's going to get the job necessarily, but it does mean
he's got the inside track.
The common man in Arkansas, from a guy who can give $20 to a guy who can give $200,000. Those are Petrino's people. They are, and they're with him, and they're not leaving him.
When you believe in something, you're more willing to give to it. And that was – I'm not going to say it's ever easy, really, but it was easier with Cal. When you're bringing in a Hall of Fame coach.
Well, Cal's got a star power that we've never had here. The other guys have had to work for it. I mean, really work hard to go get it. Cal didn't have to do 30 Razorback clubs for everybody to get to know him. They felt like they already did. Those things are important. And that's why I think Petrino is very clearly the one to beat for this job, and I don't care what anybody says.
All right, Lane's in Cave City. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Reaction Monday. Lane, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hope y'all's having a good morning.
You too, man. Thank you.
So I've just got a question. I get it. Y'all talk to everybody across the country and go to these Razorback meetings. But, Mr. Chuck, when you say the people are for Petrino, I mean, I know I'm just one person over here in northeast central Arkansas, but yeah, I'm not against him, but I'm not for him.
I'm speaking generally. I'm speaking generally. And
if you conducted a poll,
yeah, he'd win big.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Like, what made you feel? And like I said, I know y'all talk a lot more people than I do, but I know from my small circle, there's not a lot of people for him, and so that's why I was curious.
So what's that? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Against him.
Well, to your point, we do. It doesn't make us right, but our opinion is that from the people we hear from, not only just like talking out in the community, but people we hear from via text or whatever on the show. But give us your perspective and your group of people. What do y'all want?
Well, and to be honest, nobody really knows. But we feel like, when y'all brought it up, people always think something new is better, and it ain't always that way. And that's some of it right there. People's like, well, we've had Petrino before. Maybe the game has passed him by. Obviously, it ain't passed him by too far, or we wouldn't be as close as we was Saturday. But still, that's kind of a feeling. And now, and I know this is probably a very dumb opinion or even thought to have, but you start looking at coaches fired like James Franklin. We talked about this, some friends after church. Arkansas would be ecstatic if we could get somebody like James Franklin, him do what he'd done at Penn State. Now, James Franklin might not even think twice about Arkansas, won't anything to do with us. But we would prefer taking a coach like that over Petrino.
I get it. I'll ask. I don't know. Somebody's recording our call.
Somebody's got a call.
Somebody's recording our call.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Lane. Here's my thought on Franklin. I think he's a great coach, and I know what he did at Vanderbilt. But he, at Penn State, what happened there? I think he had the full support that he needed to do what he was going to try to do, which is win a national championship. And I can't say that it went poorly at Penn State. But doing it there on that kind of stage and doing it here in a much smaller state and environment, do you think James Franklin, we got to take a break, but do you think James Franklin would actually be successful here?
Who do you think can raise more money? Who do you think would win more games? James Franklin or Bobby Petrino?
It's a great question. We'll leave it there. Hit it when we come back.
I know my answer.
Bobby Petrino?
Yeah.
Yeah. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. Hey, I was there over the weekend. They had that bridal event and all these diamonds out. The experience that you get at Blakeman's is what makes it second to none. Private showing rooms. You don't have to do all the shopping. They'll just give you some options. Like, hey, what do you think about these three? What do you think about those two? Tell them what you're looking for. It just makes the experience so much easier, especially for guys like us. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, where it's more than jewelry. It's about your story. Stop by and see them on Pinnacle Hills Parkway in Rogers. Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, there's nothing like a perfect steak. So tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. And now, thanks to Plainview Beef, it's clean with no hidden chemicals. Plainview Beef feeds their cattle with wheatgrass sprouts, and their beef is loaded with nutrients your body needs. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. PlainviewBeef.com. Order direct to your house. Check out their menu, which includes 6 8-ounce fillets for just $99. Again, it's PlainviewBeef.com. Use the promo code Chuck and Bo and get a free 12-pack of beef sticks. PlainviewBeef.com.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hog Trough Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up. And don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hog Trough, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
So I spent yesterday. You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Special place. I mean, that's why I'm so fortunate that I was able to come back here, you know, and I think that we've got to get it back to that special place where everybody in the state is behind the Hogs.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, you're just talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, a lot. And there's a reason for that, because when you buy or sell a home, particularly when you go buy one, boy, it sure feels good when you have someone that's on your side, because all of us, we go into these transactions, it's generally the most money we're ever going to spend, and we want to make the right call. I can assure you, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, if that's your first call, you'll be fine. Whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whether you're wondering if it's the time to list the home you already have, they've got the answers. They know the market. They've been doing it since 1978. The info they give you is always solid, and you can always take it to the bank. Northwest Arkansas, Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson, and you can always log on to WeichertGriffin.com.
Cecil's in Fort Smith. Hey, Cecil, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. I just jumped on, so I was really trying to get on. I didn't set my alarm right to catch the show in the beginning, but we played a really good game. Bob Petrino called a damn good football game. We just fumbled the ball again and lost. But Bob Petrino is a clever coach. He's like a possum. He sits there and analyzes stuff and make it happen. He analyzed the game all the way through, and he dissects everything. He called a great game. We just lost the game at the end. And he's going to be a really good coach, and we will be a damn fool to let him go, because it's a whole bunch of coaches out there. I mean, universities, athletic directors are waiting on him for Arkansas to choose somebody else. And why would we choose somebody else when we have a great coach? Bob Petrino's top of the line. So why would you get rid of him when we need players? We already got a great coach, and let's take the money that we have and get better players. He's going to do real good. And that's all I got to say, y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Well, there you go. Coming out of the Tennessee game, some people certainly feel it didn't do anything to dampen their spirits.
We're all prisoners of the moment. I mean, we are. And as we've discussed many times, there's a lot of football, as the cliche goes, left to be played. Half the season's left. So the jury's still out. But it is going to be interesting to see how how people feel week to week on this.
Patrino beat A&M 3 times when he was the head coach here.
Yeah.
Arkansas coaches since are 1-12. I saw a tweet from Trey Biddy about that, and it made me remember some of those good days. Well, what are we going to see on Saturday as the Hogs open at the Oaklawn Sports app as a 7.5-point dog?
If they play the way they did Saturday with the same kind of fire, and they don't fumble, they got a shot to win the game.
Tomorrow we're at Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. Plainview Beef will be there giving out beef sticks. They're doing steaks tonight as a pre-champions dinner for breaking Bart tomorrow at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Bart will tee off and try to break 90. So we'll be at 6 a.m. at Big Creek. Come see us tomorrow.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Razorback Raffle is back. This raffle is a new and exciting way to support Razorback athletics, whether you're inside Razorback Stadium or calling the Hogs anywhere.